I'm glad you guys care so much about life, like all the women who are going to die in unsafe illegal abortions now. That's not how most illegal abortions today would even happen. Like, realistically, if a woman wants an illegal abortion, she's going to order the abortion pill, RU486, online, which the pro-choice lobby claims is incredibly safe. Well, I don't agree, and we have other material on that. If the pro-choice lobby's talking points are to be believed, then there's no reason to worry about women dying in unsafe abortions. If that's false, then the pro-choice lobby has a lot of explaining to do about why they were so opposed to legislation requiring an in-person medical care in order to get the abortion pill. Now, let me be very clear. I don't want anyone to get hurt in an abortion, legal or illegal. But I also don't think that we can hold the law hostage because of citizens threatening to hurt themselves. Like, imagine that we live in an alternative reality where the uterus is so protective of the fetus that the only way you could kill the fetus would be to do something drastic, like stab your abdomen with a knife. There's a group of pregnant women who are so desperate not to have a child that they are threatening to do that, to stab themselves if the government won't let them kill their infant after it's born. That imaginary government should not make infanticide legal, because infanticide is clearly wrong. It's the kind of wrong where innocent people are subject to violence and murder. So if the prohibition of infanticide shouldn't be held hostage by people threatening to hurt themselves, then the outlawing of abortion shouldn't be either. If the abortion is truly the human rights violation that I believe it to be, then we shouldn't keep that legal just to make it safer for people to keep doing it. The potential of back alley abortions is not enough to justify deliberately killing humans. It's literally here. Handmaid's Tale is happening. All the Handmaid's Tale references seem to imply that pro-life laws are going to lead us closer to a society like the one in the show. And as a pro-life advocate, I don't think that's true, nor do I want that to happen, obviously. I want to end abortion because I think abortion takes an innocent human life that's just as valuable as you and I. You probably disagree with me about that, and that's okay. There's a lot of discussion on my channel about that. Ultimately, what I'm advocating for is non-violent solutions to the very real problems that pregnancy can cause. I also want better dialogue on the issue between people who disagree about abortion's mortality. And I want better support for pregnant women and mothers in the workplace and during their education. And I want fathers to be held accountable for child support. There are things pro-life advocates don't want. I don't want women being forced into pregnancy, pregnant women being controlled by the government or mistreated, or women being investigated, prosecuted for miscarriages. All this to say that Handmaid's Tale imagery seems to come from a place of fear about what will happen if abortion is illegal. And that fear is coming from a misunderstanding of what pro-life people actually believe. With the Supreme Court leak of Roe v. Wade being overturned, that Dave Barnhart quote, it's back. It's all over social media. Let me be clear. This is a baseless attack on all pro-life Christians. Dave Barnhart's argument is fundamentally that because we don't abandon unborn children to support his pet political agenda, then we're fake Christians. He implies that pro-life people don't love people who breathe. And because Christians must love other people in order to love Jesus, we're just claiming to love Jesus and lying to ourselves and others. Unfortunately, many people seem to think this hot take is some profound takedown of the pro-life movement. First of all, being pro-life is not convenient. Pro-life people spend time and money trying to save lives and teach others the truth about the human nature that we share with even the earliest zygote. Pro-life people have been murdered, they've gone to jail, they've been assaulted, they've been vandalized, they've been ridiculed. And not that it bears mentioning the same sentence, but we deal with people like Barnhart gaslighting us about our faith by implying that we're just fake Christians who don't truly follow Christ. And that's without mentioning the efforts to build relationships with women and families in need, to connect women considering abortion to resources that make them feel like they have other options, and giving families resources to ease the burden of raising children after they're born. In 2019 alone, CareNet affiliates provided 786,785 clients with free services valued over $84 million. Barnhart conveniently ignores that the actions demonstrate our care for children and women before and after birth. And then he's promoting this fake Christian conspiracy theory. Of course, he doesn't think we really care about unborn humans. In his mind, pro-life Christians all got together and decided that the easiest way to earn neighbor points and fool Jesus into letting us into heaven was to pretend the unborn are people and we can care about them, and then we just drop them as soon as they're born. Here's a good rule of thumb. If someone claims to know the thoughts of an entire group of people they're opposed to, they're either wrong or they're lying. Odds are at least some of the Christians who say they care about women and children actually do. If even one such person can be found, then his claim is false. Yes, it's bad if pro-lifers only care about abortion, or they present as if they only care about abortion. But it's also not a requirement of the pro-life position. Shockingly enough, most pro-lifers care about a variety of issues. We're just not willing to kill human persons to get ahead in other political areas. And Dave Barnhart clearly doesn't comprehend abortion. I don't think Barnhart considers unborn humans to be persons, even though he calls them persons in this. If he did, it would be a revolting inversion of his own ethics to say that we can kill people in need while complaining that we don't help people in need. Maybe he's unaware that humans are suffocated, burned, stabbed, shredded, poisoned, and dismembered in abortion. Barnhart's diatribe is a baseless ad hominem against a group of people he seems to personally despise. Pro-life Christians are not fake Christians. It's really sad to me to see just how little knowledge there is out there about the amazing services and resources that pro-life organizations have been offering to women for years. Last time I looked, there are nearly 3,000 pregnancy resource centers. They outnumber abortion clinics 4-1. They offer completely free medical services like pregnancy tests, ultrasounds, STI testing, and they'll help you connect with an OBGYN and apply for Medicaid, which by federal law, all states must provide to cover all pregnancy-related medical bills up to 60 days postpartum. Pregnancy resource centers also offer free parenting classes and life coaching and support groups and childcare and material support far beyond diapers and wipes. They're giving out car seats and strollers and cribs and toys and clothing, and I haven't even seen full children's beds. They'll continue serving clients for years after birth, and if a local pregnancy center doesn't have the resources their client needs, there are bigger organizations they can turn to for help. Like, I'm on the board of an organization that provides monetary assistance like rent assistance and medical bill assistance to the clients of local pregnancy centers. I'm not suggesting this is enough. The pro-life movement does need to step up to the plate and do everything we can to help these women. But the claim that pro-lifers are doing nothing is simply not accurate. Resources are not going to help a woman who eventually won't be able to have a miscarriage without serving jail time. Nope, that is not going to happen, and if it does, I'm going to be majorly against that. Miscarriages should not be criminalized. A miscarriage is where an embryo or a fetus dies of natural causes. I think you and I would agree that it's wrong to kill an infant, but that doesn't mean that it should be criminalized if an infant dies of natural causes. That would make no sense. If a child shows up in the emergency room with serious injuries, there should be a few questions to make sure it's not child abuse or neglect. But the parents won't be prosecuted unless there's serious reason to believe it wasn't an accident. If a pregnant person does something to deliberately cause a miscarriage, that is wrong. But elective abortion and a natural miscarriage are not the same thing. Elective abortion is the deliberate killing of an unborn human via suffocation, lethal injection, or dismemberment. I'm arguing that intentional killing of other people is wrong. That's not usually a controversial position. You think overturning Roe is going to stop abortions? You are out of your mind. It didn't 50 years ago, and it certainly won't now. Actually, the abortion rate doubled when Roe v. Wade legalized abortion across the country. So it's really clear that more women wanted legal abortions than illegal ones. It seems ridiculous to act like banning abortion nationwide wouldn't result in the inverse. Yeah, banning abortion won't stop all abortions, but I don't think there's anything prohibited by law which hasn't been done by many people. Like, murder still happens pretty frequently, but it would be really weird to argue that we should legalize murder and instead focus on just solving the social problems that give rise to a desire for people to murder because banning murder hasn't stopped all murders. Like, we need to try to solve those social problems, but murder should still be illegal too. Whether we like it or not, we learn how to think about moral things based on what's in the law. Banning abortion means the law teaches that it's wrong to kill other humans while they're yet unborn, and that would certainly have an effect on people. Based on everything we know, banning abortion is likely to stop the majority of abortions. It would have a compounding effect over time as more and more people unlearn that it's okay to kill unborn humans and learn instead that all humans have and deserve legal protection. Honest question, what is pro-lifers' goal right now? By overturning Roe v. Wade, that is a huge step towards society unlearning that it's okay to kill humans when they're yet unborn, and instead learning that all humans are deserving of equal protection from violence. If I'm right about what abortion is, then there are innocent, vulnerable people being killed by the thousands in our country, and it's legal to kill them. That would be the biggest human rights violation of our time. If you don't agree with me about what abortion is, then let's absolutely go talk about that. But it makes sense why, if I'm right, I'd be interested in making that human rights violation illegal. Overturning Roe doesn't do that, though. It just returns the question of abortion's legality to the states. My work is far from over, but overturning Roe is an important step to ending the violence of abortion. Let me be clear, I have no interest in controlling women's bodies or punishing people for having sex or something. I just want to end legalized killing of innocent people, and the unborn are people. If you don't agree, check out my channel and we can start a conversation. My body is no longer my own. The leak of the Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade has definitely affected a lot of people emotionally, and I get that. But here's the thing. You actually don't have the right to do anything you want with your body. Most pro-choice people don't even think that. In a 2019 poll, 72% of self-identifying pro-choice people said that there should be restriction when abortion is allowed during pregnancy. But if it's true that you can do anything you want with your body, then there can't be any restrictions on abortion for any reason. There can be no restrictions on third trimester abortions when the fetus can survive outside the womb, no restrictions on abortions to deliberately kill females because people think females are less valuable. It also means that any health and safety regulations on abortion facilities, including that only a licensed physician can perform an abortion, that can be construed as interfering with a woman's right to bodily autonomy. This position doesn't give an account for why it would be okay to prohibit other clearly immoral actions like intentionally disabling your fetus before you give birth. I'm all for people making choices, but it simply isn't true that people can do anything they want with their bodies. My body, my choice is inherently an extremist argument. This is an incredibly common idea I'm seeing after the Supreme Court leak, that outlawing abortion is like forcing people to donate their organs to others. And some people have even gone so far as to say Republicans are actually going to start legislating other things women must do with your bodies. Let me be very clear. You do have rights to your own body. I don't think you're obligated to help others by donating a kidney or something, but the rights to your own body don't include the right to kill another person. Like if someone's dying of kidney failure, they are already dying and you can legally just refuse to help them, but you may not kill them yourself. You may not take an axe and dismember them. You may not legally inject them or take away their oxygen tank running up the ocean floor. In pregnancy, there is no just refuse to help option. Abortion is suffocation, lethal injection, or dismemberment of another biological human. I'm not arguing that people always have an obligation to help innocent, vulnerable people. I am arguing that people have an obligation to not kill innocent, vulnerable people. You also consented to the action that made them dependent on you, so go check out my other videos for more on that. What making abortion illegal would do is say it's wrong to intentionally kill innocent humans while they're yet unborn.